Yes, everybody, it's your second video of the day. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. It's a bit of a handheld video and it's a little bit, production-wise, we're getting there at this moment in time. Probably just clocked something in the background there. But I have got a new laptop, so I'm currently trying to set that up. So apologies if you're getting a few bits from my phone. I got a new one today. So that's what I'm saying. The investment in the channel is happening. All the proceeds from you guys are going straight into the channel. So I just want to say a massive thank you. We're going to have Patreon bits tomorrow. We're going to have Patreon bits throughout the weekend. We're also going to have, just general bits across the channel, which I'm sure will excite you guys. But listen, I'm here to not just waffle on, but to give a bit of exciting news when it comes to potential left-back options. Chelsea. Yes, everybody, Chelsea. Where's the link? What are you thinking right now? Ian Matson. Yes, everybody, the Burnley superstar from last season, the Chelsea wonder kid. Well, it sounds like Chelsea are willing to move on Armando Broja, Monjuke, murdered that name, but whatever it is, and Ian Matson to make room for funds in January to bring in the Napoli striker Osimhen. So yeah, loads of interesting dialect around this now. How would he fit into this Leeds United side? Well, there's a lot of people who are discussing, well, Connor, you're talking about having a standard left back, someone who doesn't bomb forward. Listen, if we can get Ian Matson goals, assists, and a proper left back who's not only going to give you numbers when it comes to output, but it's also going to give you minutes. Ian Matson plays minutes. He's fantastic for Burnley last season, a very, very good injury record, and someone at this level who would be an absolutely exceptional signing. Now, how would we get someone like him? Well, this is going to be the big problem because you're going to, in my opinion, still get big players in the Prem looking at this geezer. He's a top player. He is a top player. For me, he's a Premier League player. There was a reason that Chelsea kept hold of him when Burnley were prodding asking for him. But different squads have different makeups now. You look at that Burnley setup. Do they need an Ian Matson? I'd argue no. You look at a lot of the lower league clubs, the fullbacks are the best options for a lot of these sides. You look at Crystal Palace, you look at teams down there, Bournemouth, they invest heavily in wingers and fullbacks. Now, why is that relevant? Well, it's relevant because in the modern era, fullbacks and wingbacks are some of the best offensive players in the world. And that's why it's so important us having Jed Spence back, because not only can he act as a defender, he can act as a winger. That's how good Jed Spence is. Now, the balance, now you're getting me a bit excited, the balance of having Ian Matson on the other side to Jed Spence. Whoo! Now, honestly, that's cooking. That really is cooking, to annoy Gabe there with that terminology, but it's true. The balance both would act as wingers. They are a step up, a massive step up. You look at someone like, Jed Spence in comparison to a Luke Ayling. Jesus Christ, it's 3 or 4 levels. Then you look at Jed Spence in comparison to a Jamie Shackleton. It's 3 or 4 levels. You look at Jed Spence in comparison to a Sam Byram. It's 2 or 3 levels. Now you look at the other side and you look at a Junior Firpo. If Leeds were to go in for him, for an Ian Matson. Wow. Now let's look at the negotiation side of it. Apparently, allegedly, according to multiple sources now who are reporting about Ian Matson, Chelsea are willing to let him go on a permanent deal. They want to make funds. Now, is that a little bit of a problem for Leeds? Potentially, and let me tell you why. Angus Kinnear spoke earlier on this month about Leeds United going in and having 2 loan places in January. Now, why is that significant? Well, it's significant because Leeds might have budgeted for that. Leeds might not be willing to go and sign a player permanently in the month of January. Why? Well, because Leeds put the pieces together in the summer. They're pretty happy with the business. We all know that. Angus has come out and said that. There's been multiple sources stating that Leeds are very, very happy with the business. However, as Victor Orta used to say, we're opportunists. Angus Kinnear used to say the same thing. If an opportunity arises that cannot be turned down, we will move for that. This is one of those opportunities. Eddie Nketiah, back in the day, was one of those opportunities. Never planned, but he was an opportunity. Ian Matson becoming available is massive. It's a really, really big opportunity for Leeds United to sort that left-hand side, which has been neglected by the club. I've mentioned several times, Byram, Jed Spence, Alioski, Strauch. I think we've seen even Cooper go there at points during games to cover that left-back spot. And it goes all the way back, really, to Charlie Taylor. Leeds actually having an out-and-out, fully-fledged left-back. This is something that we've gone over multiple times. But this is exciting news. It's really, really exciting news because a lot of people are probably going to put a damp cloth all over this and turn around and say, well, Connor, this would never happen because he's going to have many options. Do you know what? I thought the exact same about Spence. Ethan Ampadu, I could not believe it. Genuinely could not believe, and you can refer back to my videos back at the start of the season when we signed Ethan Ampadu. Could not believe it. Couldn't believe it for £7 million. Joe Rodon, as soon as I heard the rumours, you're going to get a Premier League club, a lower league Premier League club coming in for him. Leeds did very, very well in summer. One of the best summer transfer windows we've had in a long, long time. The January windows for Leeds United have always been abysmal. Abysmal. And the January windows are never good for anyone. But this club right now has to get this right. Because we are trailing big time now. You look at what Ipswich did the other night. You look at what Leicester did last night. Points cannot be dropped. Leeds have to be perfect. The manager has to be perfect. The players have to be perfect. The problems with Leeds United, for me this season, have been the lack of quality in two positions. Joel Pereira's position, central attacking midfield, because I think when he's out of games, Leeds aren't able to rotate, freshen it up, bring an actual Cam in there who could be creative, who can be innovative, something I don't think Joel Pereira is because he's almost a 9.5, a 9 between a 10. And left back, which in my opinion, a lot of fans scope over as, it's left back. You know, that archaic view of the fullbacks are the last picked. Nowadays, you look at the fullbacks in the Premier League all the way down to League Two and the National League, they're some of the most important players because they're coming up against top quality wingers, especially in the Championship, which was reiterated by Junior Firpo, even stepping down a level to the Championship. But also it's getting forward. It's offering Chris Somerville a different avenue. It's offering Dan James a different avenue. It's making sure we don't see more scenarios going into the new year of our fullbacks being man-marked, which then means that Leeds United are done. We can't do anything. Pass sideways, sideways, back, sideways, sideways, back. Fullbacks open up space for wingers. Fullbacks open up space for fullbacks. Fullbacks open up space for cams. Fullbacks open up space for central midfielders. And you go back to Daniel Farke's system at Norwich. He had the best two fullbacks in the division. Jamal Lewis at the time was unbelievable. Later got a move to Newcastle. And Aarons, who a year after Daniel Farke left, was being linked to Barcelona. And he had those left and right-sided players who, right now, to be fair to Daniel Farke, he doesn't have. Sam Byram has done well for Leeds, but he's not good enough amidst the injury record, which is a secondary point. The other side, Jed Spence has only just come back, and we've been filling in a central midfielder in that spot. So really, he's not had two of the most important profiles that got Daniel Farke promoted twice. So this is the thing when we're comparing that Norwich side to this Leeds side. Very, very, very different. They had a Cam, which Leeds don't have. They had an out-and-out number 9 in Timu Pukki, and they had fully fledged left and right backs. They are massive profiles which I'm missing. So when I hear people comparing Norwich to Leeds and what Farke's done at Norwich as almost a reasoning for why he'll do well at Leeds, that can't happen if you don't have the profiles involved within the setup. And there are 4 profiles of which he's not had for the season. Obviously, Jed's just come back, but there are 3 profiles still missing. And this is a big avenue right now for Leeds United. For me, make a statement. Go out, throw your hat in the ring. Does Ian Matson want to play in Championship football again? Who knows? Who knows? Can we entice him? Is there going to be a good wage? And these are all things what have got to be weighed up. Can Leeds guarantee him Premier League football next season, no matter what? Because that's probably what he's going to want. But it's going to be a fascinating period now. And you wonder if some of these top left-backs, not top left-backs, but quality left-backs, who are insurance options, maybe, and these big clubs or bigger clubs don't want them anymore if some of them are going to come on the market to facilitate their moves for other players. And this is what's happened exactly with Ian Matson facilitating money for Chelsea to go get Osimhen in either the January or summer months. Massive news, in my opinion. Throw your hat into the ring, Leeds. Check out the video earlier on, everybody. Sign up to the Patreon if you want. Hope you enjoyed this little snippet, and I'll see you in a bit.